Yo, what's going on? So during this video, I'm going to show you how to install the foot anatomy pieces and answer the questions that I've been getting since posting them. So what you will be getting from me, you'll be getting 8 pieces packaged together, well really 16, one for each foot. So you'll be getting 16 pieces similar to this, bagged individually, right foot, left foot, plus a mini tube of super glue. Super glue, I know it's crazy, not crazy glue, it's super glue. One of the questions I've been getting is, you know, like, will it fall off? To give you an idea of how strong this stuff is, the first pair that I did was this white pair of forces, and I put transparent orange on it. And I didn't like the way that it looked, so I had to go through and literally rip off the glue, and it ripped off the paint and the leather, as you can see here. So like, it took a lot of force to do that. Now this is what I provide. What I recommend is the Gorilla Epoxy. You can get this for like $6 at Hobby Lobby or Home Depot. This is about 10 times stronger than the super glue. Not that unless you plan on unless you really beat up your Air Force Ones, the super glue will be fine. But if you just plan on wearing these things every single day until like the sole falls off, use the epoxy. $6, Home Depot, use that. Easy application. The benefit of the super glue is that it's faster. As soon as you put it on the shoe, within like 5 seconds, it's there, not falling off. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the benefit of the epoxy is that it actually takes 5 minutes to set. So you put it on and then you just want to like hold it there for, say a minute, and just make sure it stays still for at least 5 minutes, and then it sets. So like I said, you're going to get the 16 pieces for the right and left foot. You're going to get the super glue. I'll supply that, as well as this cheat sheet. So I'm going to give you this cheat sheet. This QR code leads directly to the video that you are watching right now. And then this cheat sheet it gives you an idea of where the bones should be on the shoe. You have the right foot here, left foot here. It's a cheat sheet. Actually, so what you'll need on your end is you need an X-Acto knife. Just a plain one like this. If you're a customizer, 9 times out of 10 you already have one. If you don't, you should probably get one. And if you've shopped with me before, then you probably already have a pair of these, which is just some like workshop gloves. I use these to protect my hands from the heat, because some of these pieces do need to be thermoformed slightly. It takes about 10 seconds for them to actually form. We're not going to throw them in the oven like we do the checks. We're actually going to use a heat gun, which brings me to the last thing that you need, and that is a $25 heat gun that you can get at Home Depot or off Amazon. It reaches 300 degrees, and it only takes 10 seconds to get the acrylic to really do what you want it to do. So let's go ahead and jump in. So first thing I'm going to do, now this is optional, you don't have to actually do this, is you're going to take that X-Acto knife and you're going to take off the check. People have different ways of doing it. I prefer just going straight under, carving it up. Some people like to go ahead and cut all of the threads and everything. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so it's not perfect, but it's enough for me to move on to the next phase. All right, so at this point you should have the outside of your shoe should be bare. You can remove all the thread to take away the swoosh. Now what this is good for is it actually gives you more of a level surface to put the bones on. So the next thing we're going to do is, I have this metal pan, just like this. I have a metal pan, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that cheat sheet, and I'm going to lay out the bones, how it will be on the shoe. I just want to make sure I have all the pieces. Sometimes they fall, and that sucks. Try to size it up as far as like the size of your shoe. This is the glow-in-the-dark option. Not all of the pieces glow in the dark. Well, not all of the options glow in the dark. See, am I missing a piece? I'm actually, all right. The glow-in-the-dark option is obviously the only one that glows in the dark. We also have black, white, pink, blue, red, green, and orange. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. on the shoe. So I'm going to start with the back piece first. Now, the reason that it requires for you to thermoform it is because if I put this back piece on here, as you can see, it's going to go right around here. It's going to be like popping off the shoe, and like that's not cool. Like it doesn't really look good. So we just need to heat it up a little bit. But first things first, you're going to take your glue and just go ahead and prep it. Just twist it on gently. And now you should be good. So all you have to do is twist. You don't have to poke it by hand. The cap kind of already pops it at the top. Now the glue and the acrylic creating a chemical reaction. So like that also helps it adhere to the leather. It almost melts the acrylic in a way. It's really weird. I don't know why. I'm not a scientist, I'm just a baker. All right, so we're just gonna put our glue off to the side and then put on at least one glove. I will put on the glove of your dominant hand, actually. The reason I say that is because you're probably going to be using your dominant hand to actually form the acrylic to the shoe while you use the heat gun to heat up the acrylic piece. So go ahead and we're going to slide, we're going to bring the shoe nearby, put the cheat sheet off to the side, and then we're just going to hover the heat gun over the piece that you plan on thermoforming for like 10 seconds max. I would say 10 seconds for the glow in the dark, 30 seconds for the regular options. The glow in the dark acrylic has a lower heat tolerance, so all you need is, you only need like 10 seconds for this. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, so you see it's bending. You got a small window to get it on there the way you want it before it cools off and becomes solid again. So that's why we form it, right? So it's not just sticking off the shoe. So I want that piece to actually be right where it's at. So that's pretty good. Let's say we leave it right about there. That's the heel of the foot. So before I move on to the next piece, I'm going to go ahead and stick that. Now, the glue application, this is very important. You don't want to just throw globs of glue on there. I say that you just do dots. So depending on the size of the piece, this piece, let's do about, I say 6 dots minimum, 8 maximum. You don't want to use all of the glue because then it takes longer to set and it just becomes sloppy. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did 7. All right, turn it around, put it on. I'm gonna hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just rub it down because you did do like a dot of glue. So when you press it down, it's actually going to flatten out that dot, which is why you don't want to do globs, because if you do like a ton of glue, then when you press it down, it's going to seep out the sides and it just won't be a clean design. All right, so that's on there and it's not coming off. I'm literally holding the shoe by the piece, like it's not coming off. All right, so moving on to the next piece. Once again, I'm going to put on my gloves, heat it up. All right, so what I'm going to do, just for the sake of time, I'm going to go through and just speed through me installing the other 5 pieces. Now, it's important to note that the smaller pieces don't necessarily need to be thermoformed because they're small enough where they'll actually cover the whole surface of the shoe. So I would say the front 2 toes and then that middle small bone don't necessarily need to be formed. The other 3 do. So, and I said 5. 6 more pieces. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and speed through the rest of the shoe. That way you can see me install it and see what the final look would be. All right, so let's do it. Okay, all right, so here's the final product. So I really don't like my placement here. I wish I would have came forward a little bit more, would have been a cleaner design, simpler, like similar to this. As you can see, I came a little bit too far back, so please learn from my mistake. That like these two back pieces, this should be touching the rim here, and these should be moved forward a bit more. Other than that, the placement of the other ones are fine. Now the question remains, how long does this last on the shoe? So because I don't like this placement, and I can go back and fix this, I'm going to show you how hard it is to rip these two pieces off. So it literally took all of that off just for me to rip off this piece of acrylic, and it's going to be the same for this one. Jesus. All right, so that's how hard it is to actually take this off. So like I said before, this works fine. But if you are that concerned, I recommend, this works fine. If you are that concerned, I recommend that you use the Gorilla Epoxy. That's even stronger, and at that point, it's never coming off your shoe. But what I'm sending you works completely fine because it took a lot of force and did a lot of damage to the shoe just to get it off. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and move those pieces forward later, and honestly probably just give this pair away. You know, I mean, it's still a good pair. It can be painted over, fixed if you know what you're doing, or just I'm just gonna give them away. All right, guys, so I appreciate you tuning in. If you like the product, head over to the shop. It's available for a limited time only, and I would love to hear like what you think about it, and like maybe there's a better application that I'm not seeing. So just let me know what you think, or if you have any other ideas. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for checking us out and rocking with Shoemaker. And go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. All right, guys.